Okay, got everything downstairs. My jacket I'm going to wear yet today with my gloves. I've got one little bag sitting on the table there. That's my charging cords. My large trunk bag is down on the bike already. I've got nothing here. Got my helmet there. Nothing around it. And double check the bathroom. And nothing left in the bathroom. My whole stay that I got here, they kept on giving me more and more soaps every day. But I only used one bar of soap for the entire weekend. One bottle of shampoo all weekend. But they kept giving me more. Oh. You know, I really hate leaving. It's been a beautiful stay. The people are amazing. And I'm going to miss you guys. I really am. I really am. But gotta say goodbye. Gotta get on the road and start heading home. I want to see my wife. See you on the road. Okay, I'm all gassed up. I'm ready to go. Had breakfast over here at the McDonald's. Just filled up here at the gas station. And now 200 miles to Ken's Tours, which will give me a tour of the lower Antelope Canyon. And I'm kind of looking forward to that. The day started out really nice. It's only 62 degrees. It's overcast. I don't have a whole lot of sun. So yeah, even the winds are only like 4 miles an hour. So let's get on the road. So I was coming down 89 and I saw a sign that said dinosaur exhibit for the Grand Staircase Escalante Visitor Center. Let's check it out. As you can see, I got 2 stamps today at the Grand Staircase Escalante, Big Water, Utah. Then I also got the Old Spanish National Hiking Trail in the Grand Staircase Escalante, New Mexico, Utah. Now, I know I'm not hiking the Old Spanish Trail. However, in my driving to get to the rally, there was actually a spot where I was driving on the Old Spanish Trail. So I got the stamp for that one as well. So yeah, this actually turned out to be a good stop. I didn't realize that there was even a stamp for the Escalante Grand Staircase, but apparently there is. I'm glad I stopped by. Okay, I've reached Ken Tours, and this is supposed to be where I get my tour of the lower Antelope Canyon, and I tell you, their parking lot is packed. Lots of people here. Hopefully the sound of the water behind me isn't going to make you pee. I went in, I got my ticket, so I'm ready to go on my tour. It's not for another hour. There's no restaurant or anything like that around here, which is kind of stupid if you ask me. And but I was walking around a little bit, and I was kind of standing by the line for the 1145 tour, and a person, one of the employees here, came up to me, and I was holding the camera. And she goes, "Oh, you won't be able to take that on the tour." She goes, "You're not allowed to take video cameras." I go, "Well, I use it to take still shots." "Oh, you'll have to talk to your tour guide about that then." Like, most cameras nowadays do both. So it's kind of stupid that just because mine looks like a video camera that they're not going to allow it. It takes still shots. My phone takes pictures and video. And most people's cameras that I see walking around are going to take stills and video, so it's no different. Oh, I'm not going to sit here in the heat. I'm going to find some shade.
How would Harry Potter fit into the download? Would he be a shaman?
Harry Potter be a shaman?
Since you read all his books?
I think Harry Potter was he would be just like a medicine man.
Okay.
We don't really have like sorcerers or anything, but we do have people that can correct like if something was unbalanced in your life, they kind of fix it.
Who brings the rain? The rainmakers.
We don't have like a person set aside. It's just kind of like
But you know what I mean, right?
yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't think we have like Kobe trust. They have like a patina that represents.
Okay, finished up my Antelope tour. I tell you, you cannot take a bad picture in there. I swear, you just can't. But it has warmed up considerably. The sun is pretty much out. So sunscreen, gas, lunch, and then make my way down towards Sunset Crater. Hopefully the visitor center will still be open when I get there. Okay, got my stamp. My very first stamp in the Western region. Yay! Sunset Crater National, I think it's National Monument. Yeah, it's National Monument. But I got here like maybe 10 minutes. They're about ready to close up the doors right now. There is a place back up the road. I'm going to stop and try to get a picture of the volcano with the bike. So let's go do that. Okay, made it to my room here in Flagstaff, Arizona, and it's a decent room. It's not one of those huge rooms like I had on my way out to Mesquite, but it's not bad. You know, king size bed, plenty of space between the bed and the wall on both sides. Split bathroom. You got the toilet and a tub in one side, and then the sink is on the other side, and then you actually have to go into the bathroom to get into the closet area, which kind of is stupid if you ask me, but that's the way the room is. Microwave, refrigerator, little TV, couple of side dressers, and then one big one that, of course, the camera and my bags and everything are sitting on. Pardon me, I'm going to take off my socks while I talk. When I left when I left Mesquite, it was actually quite cool. It was probably 62, you know, overcast, cloudy. It warmed up though. I was actually doing really good until I got to the Antelope Canyon. Once I got there, the sun came out, the clouds broke apart, and it got hot fast. But I mean, it wasn't anything that I'm not used to. You know, it was maybe upper 90s, not bad. But going through Antelope Canyon, there are so many people there. It takes, I mean, on their website, I think they say that, you know, the normal tour takes between 45 minutes, an hour, and 15 minutes. Bull. This was a Monday, not a weekend day. And I get there right around the lunch hour, which means that to me, a lot of people should be out having lunch. And that place was still packed. It took us a solid hour and a half, maybe even a little bit longer than that, to get through the canyon. Now, don't get me wrong. The way they do it, I think, is probably the best way they can do it. You have a time that you need to reserve, okay? Yeah, I mean, you can show up and see about getting in, but it's better if you reserve your time slot ahead of time. I reserved mine for 12:30, which was a mistake because I didn't realize what time zone it was in. It is in the in the Pacific time zone, I think, and not into the mountain time zone. Or was it vice versa? No, yeah, that was right. So I was thinking it was in the mountain time zone. So when I set it up, I figured I'd be there at 12:30, you know, with an extra hour of having to drive to get into that time zone, and it wasn't that way. So basically, when I got there, I had to wait around for an hour. I mean, it wasn't bad, but sitting in the. There's plenty of spots where they have shade. They got a big overhang. They got a couple of outbuildings that have roofs on them that you can go into and stay in the shade. So it worked out all right. I did end up buying a bottle of water for, I think it was like $2.30 some odd cents or something like that for a 1 liter bottle of water. Yeah, I thought that was a little pricey. But you don't go as one big group, okay? Because there's going to be probably close to, I want to say 40, maybe 45 people that are going to be slotted in that time frame. But you're kind of split up between 3 or 4 tour guides. And basically, whichever tour guide gets their crap together and gets their people together first, takes off first. And you basically walk the whole length of the canyon to the far side, and then you go down into the canyon and then walk back. So at least when you're getting out, you're basically right by the building. So that's not too bad. Well, we had people, okay, first of all, you cannot have a purse or a backpack. Now, if you have a hydration pack, that's fine. If you have a fanny pack, a small little fanny pack, that's fine. But no purses and no backpacks. We had 4 people in our group that had those. So we had to wait for them to go all the way to their car, drop off their crap, and then walk back before we could actually go and do our tour. So we were actually one of the last tours to actually leave. Also, there's no video recording. I had a lady come up to me and says, "You're not going to be able to take that camera on the tour." I go, "Why not?" She goes, "We don't allow video." I go, "Well, it's my still shot camera. I use this to also take still shots. Yes, it's a video camera, but it takes still shots as well." Well, you'll have to clear that with your tour guide. Tour guides didn't give a crap about it. No one said a word to me, just that one lady. They do have a no GoPro on their little specs of cans and can'ts, do this, don't do that. And GoPro, you cannot have a GoPro camera. And I was actually going to put up a stink if I was told that I could not take that camera on the tour, because nowadays fucking people's cell phones take video, and very good quality video at that. So I was actually going to put up a stink saying, okay, if I got to put my camera down, everybody else has to go put their phones away as well, because there's no way that I was going to let people walk in through there with their camera phones taking pictures and video if I can't take that, because there's no difference whatsoever. But like I said, the tour guide, she didn't care. She was actually kind of a little wishy-washy, a little, I don't know, reserved in her approach of being a guide. There's no climbing on the rock. Basically, the main rules once you get down there are don't climb on the rocks and don't write on the rocks. Don't take a pencil or a marker and scribble your name on it. In a lot of places, you'll be in a flat, sandy area, but then just a couple of feet up would be like a rounded out shelf of some sort and stuff like that. Don't climb up into that shelf. You stay down on the sandy area. And sure shit, there's a little 8-year-old boy, I'm guessing he's 8, he might have only been about 5, and he was wanting to climb up into that little shelfy area, and he was doing it all the time. And that canyon is so narrow, you're basically, for the most part, you're going down one at a time. and she can't keep an eye on everybody. And she definitely wasn't keeping an eye on that little boy. And of course the parents, they're some Asian country. I don't know if they were from Korea or China or where they were from. But, you know, she's sitting there telling them that he can't be climbing on the rocks, but they don't understand what she's saying. So, yeah, you know, the little boy kept doing it. The other reason why my tour took so long is because we had these little teenage Chinese girls, Oriental girls. Every time they turned a corner, they were wanting to take another picture, and they were posing for the pictures. It's like, come on, let's keep moving, you know? I mean, literally, they're taking 4 steps. Oh, let's take another picture. Oh, okay, now you take one of me. And, you know, it just held us up so drastically. You know, the tour guide was always getting on them saying, come on, girls, let's go. Come on. you know, other people are behind us. We got to move. I mean, these girls were going so slow that the tour ahead of us was actually pulling away. They were getting farther and farther away from us. But it's a cool place. It really is. And I did the lower Antelope Canyon. There's a lower and an upper. I did the lower. The upper, I hear, is one a lot busier and a lot bigger. So the lower one, you know, you can get it done, like I said, hour and a half. I would always assume that you're going to at least do an hour and a half, unless the weather is really bad and people don't show up. But then, because I got out of there so late, I still hadn't had lunch yet. It's getting to be 2 o'clock local time. And it's like, I haven't eaten anything since, I think I had breakfast right around 7, and it's getting to be 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was like, I need to get something to eat. I mean, I need to get something to eat. So I knew out where the canyon was and where I was, there's nothing available. They don't sell food anywhere. They do have snacks and stuff in the tour guide house, but I wasn't going to pay their prices. So I had to go all the way back into Page, and I found a restaurant there. And it was actually a fairly nice restaurant, and my meal was really good. I had a chicken wrap, and it had a bunch of like lettuce, tomato, onion. It had cucumber in it, but it was also a crispy deep fried chicken. It wasn't a grilled chicken, so it was actually really good. You know, it had a good contrast of textures and stuff like that, and the cucumber was actually really good in it. And I got onion rings instead of French fries. Told my wife that I was going to try to stay away from French fries as much as possible. So, but then I was getting out of the restaurant kind of late. You know, the 2 waitress girls that were in there were both identical twins to each other, of course. And even though the restaurant really wasn't all that busy, they were having people asking if they could take their picture because of being identical twins. So it kind of held me up on getting my my check and stuff like that. I mean, the food came pretty quick once I got my order in. But I was even, when I got into the restaurant, I was standing there, and there's 2 big signs saying, please wait to be seated. So I'm waiting up there, and I'm waiting. And it probably took close to 10 minutes or more just for them to come out to the restaurant to see that someone wants to be seated. And then they're like, well, you can just sit anywhere. And so, well, take the fucking signs down. You know, you're sitting there telling people to wait to be seated, but then you can tell them that they can sit anywhere. I don't get that. Then of course, like I said, I got my order in fairly quickly. I got my food really quickly, and I was hungry. I ate it. I scarfed it down. And I'm just waiting for my check, but now this is the point where people are wanting to take the waitresses' pictures. So now I'm having to wait for my check just so I can settle up and go. So and so that slowed me down a little bit. And I was really thinking I'm not going to make it to Sunset Crater Volcano. I'm not going to be able to get into there and get my stamp. And lo and behold, I did. One of the things also, I didn't know that they actually made a cancellation stamp for the Grand Staircase. I've looked through the book and it's not listed. But I ended up just happenstance, the road I was on had a Grand Staircase Escalante Visitor Center. And then it also said dinosaur exhibit or something like that. It's like slammed on the brakes and pulled in real quick. And it's like, well, we'll just check it out and see what it is. Well, the dinosaur center, it was all right. You know, it's kind of one of those things I think is being developed. So they didn't have a whole lot. And, but the rangers there were very knowledgeable of current events and what's been going on. They said, he was talking with this one lady, and I overheard the conversation that they found the remains of 12 different new species of dinosaurs. And so that was kind of cool. You know, I mean, they didn't find the whole skeletons, they just found little bits and pieces, but they know enough about it now that it is a new species. It's not something that they already had. But anyway, as I was walking around, I noticed the stamp station. It's like, what? There's a stamp for that? Hell yeah, I'm gonna stamp my book. I grabbed it out of my bag just in case I was gonna need it. And lo and behold, they had one. Actually, they had two. Because they also had one for the Old Spanish National Hiking Trail. Now, I wasn't doing the hiking trail. I was just going, but I did remember as I was going through Utah, I was seeing signs for like the Old Santa Fe Trail and Trail of the Ancients or something like that. And I do remember being on Old Spanish Trail, but it was along a road. So I stamped it because I was actually driving on the Old Spanish Trail. But after lunch, I put down I was just going to go to the hotel. And it was getting me here right around 5 o'clock. And as long as I don't stop anywhere, then I should make good time. So it was like, well, usually those visitor centers don't close until 5 o'clock. Sorry, I got the hiccups. Those visitor centers close at 5 o'clock, but my GPS was telling me that I wouldn't get to the hotel until just about 5 o'clock. Actually, a couple minutes before 5. So I was sitting there thinking about, well, if I can make good time and really fly down through there, I should be able to get my stamp after all. I really thought that I wasn't going to make it. So as I was driving, I put in the destination of the Sunset Crater, and it kept on being one of those things. I'm going to make it, maybe not. I'm going to make it, maybe not. Because I kept on getting behind these slower vehicles, and sometimes I could easily pass them, and other times I had to sit there and wait, and wait, and wait, and wait. And I keep on looking at my time of arrival, my estimated time of arrival down at the bottom of my screen. you know, and I'm waiting for the minutes to start ticking up until it said, you know, 5 o'clock or after. And yeah, so I was constantly looking at it going, am I going to make this or not? I don't know. Well, it ends up being I did make it, barely. I made it with about 10 minutes to spare. I pulled into the visitors parking lot. I mean, I just whipped down through the entrance road and everything like that. I go into the visitor parking lot, stop the bike. I didn't grab anything. I didn't grab the camera, didn't grab my phone, didn't grab anything. All I did was reached in, pulled out my passport book, and ran into the building. And I immediately started looking around and stuff for the stamp station. Found it, stamped my book, and then I had a ranger come over to me, you know, and asking me questions. And he goes, "Do you have your parks pass, your national parks pass?" "Oh yeah, sure." You know, I whipped it out. And, "Oh, okay, then you're good to go." I think he was going to charge me just for coming in because there was the pay station as you're going down the driveway, but it was closed. I don't know if they closed it early the day or it's just not open yet for the year or what's going on. But because I went into that visitor center, he wanted to see my pass. And I tell you, I'm glad I bought that pass. It was $80 and it was well worth it because I think I would have paid a lot more had I paid each individual park and paid their entrance fee. So yeah, I'm glad I got the that National Parks Pass. So after I was done at Crater in the visitor center, there was nothing that I could really do. It's getting kind of late. You know, it's 5 o'clock. You know, I don't really want to climb up and hike up the mountain, up the volcano. But I remember as I was coming in through the driveway, there were a couple of places that you can get a good view of the volcano. So I pulled over and hopped off the bike and took a couple of quick pictures. And there was another mountain range. It's actually across the main road and everything. I think it might be part of the park, but I don't think it's a volcano. But it had, you know, snow peaks on it and stuff like that. It was kind of pretty, so I took a picture of it. And then just kept on coming here to the hotel. And now I'm just kind of sitting here, relaxing. I've already gone out and had dinner. I actually found probably one of the better barbecue places I've found on this trip so far. They actually did it right. The brisket was smoked. It had a smoke ring on it, and it tasted like it had, tasted like smoke. So yeah, I mean, it was actually quite good. It was a Cajun barbecue place, so I got some red beans and rice, or they also had jambalaya and etouffee, dirty rice. They had a bunch of stuff that was Cajun, but then they also had smoked barbecued stuff. They had, I think they had pork, brisket, and chicken. Those were their barbecued stuff. But it was good. I enjoyed it a lot, and if I ever get back to Flagstaff, that's one of the places I'd try to look up again. That was really good. Well, I'm gonna go. I want to go. Oh, I want to also tell you about my mileage. When I arrived at the rally, I was at 2,476 miles. By the end of the rally, I was at an even 2,808 miles. So that means that during the course of the rally, I put on, let's see, what was it? 332 miles just at the rally. I only rode on 2 rides, and that's why my mileage is really low, and I didn't go on any of the really long rides. They had a ride that went up to Bryce Canyon. That was supposed to be like a 6.5 hour ride. They had another one that went around Duck Creek, and that was like a 250-mile ride or something like that. Because of all the mileage I was doing just to get there, I wasn't feeling up to doing long distance mileage anymore. And in fact, on the last day of the rally, on the Sunday, I didn't even go on a ride. I did tool around a little bit in Mesquite. I went to the Walmart and stuff like that, but I just drove around the town just to see what the town had, and that was it. Maybe 15, 20 miles tops. It was all I put in driving around the town. But then, so when I got here, I ended the day with 3,157.6 miles for a total of 349.6 for the day. So yeah, it's getting up there. Oh, I am kind of tired. I know it's early. It's, gosh, what is it? It's only 7 o'clock right now, and I believe that we are still in Pacific time. So I don't get into Mountain time until I get through Arizona, I believe. So I'm gonna go take a shower, get cleaned up, just veg out and watch TV. I might pull up a movie, use the Wi-Fi, and watch something on Vudu or Netflix or something. But yeah, my day is done today. It's been a long day, just like every other day has been a long day. Tomorrow, I want to see Meteor Crater, the Petrified Forest, possibly some petroglyphs. Kind of depends on the time. I do have it slated. I want to see them, but I want to get down to Roswell, and that alone is like a 7.5 hour trip. So I might have to ditch the petroglyphs. That was just one of those things that I found in the last minute, and it was like, oh, that'd be kind of cool. But I saw petroglyphs at Capitol Reef, so do I need to see more? All right, I'm going to bed. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to do all that stuff, and you're not going to see any of it. See you in the morning.